Gunblade.
All right, Lady Ada, we are live. What is this?
This is my Gunblade, and this is what you're watching is the show and tell, which is the best 30 minutes of hackers, makers, craftspeople, musicians showing off what they're working on, their workspaces, retro tech, pretty much anything that's really cool, 3D printing. We got it all, so we're going to go through list of people we're running a little bit late, and also we need a little bit of time at the end, so let's make it super speedy. We love your projects, but 2 to 3 minutes, please, if you can, and we can get through it so we can.
We can always come back to you.
We can always come back to you, and we can also come back next week too.
Yeah.
But just video stuff today. So we're going to start off with.
Start with Tony from Adafruit Northwest. Tony, unmute your mic and tell us what you're up to.
Yeah. So I've got a little bit of a don't ask, it's not out yet for Android and the Bluetooth Low Energy friend. So I'll switch real quickly to the other camera here, and let's see. Do you see the other camera?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So, and the exposure is a little bit low because I've got some NeoPixels. They'll turn on in a second. But I basically have NeoPixels connected to a Raspberry Pi, and then this little guy over here is the BLE friend, the Bluetooth Low Energy friend chip. And this basically has a USB to serial connection on it, so you can talk to it just like any other serial device. But then it also has a Bluetooth modem on there and a whole CPU that lets you run a whole bunch of different things. So I've got an Android tablet. It's just a Nexus 7, and let me log in real quickly. And what I'll do is I'll run the Bluetooth LE app from Adafruit here, and this is kind of the hot off the presses, or real kind of cutting edge stuff. So I think it'll be out pretty soon. But basically the rough functionality I'll show people. So I started up. It's showing me here's the UART device, which is the BLE friend over here, and I can connect to it. And it's telling me 4 modes I can choose between here. So I can look at some info, like what's the firmware version on it. I can put it in UART mode, which is just opening a serial connection. So it'll open up a little serial connection on the Android device, and you can just type messages. And then if you had a serial connection open on the Raspberry Pi, you can see those messages. And then there's controller mode, and that's what I'll show in a second here. But that actually gives you some things on the UI that you can play with that'll send commands down to the board. And then beacon mode puts it into like an iBeacon mode, where you can give it a URL and make it act like an iBeacon device, which is kind of a new thing with Bluetooth Low Energy, where you can use a little phone app. I think Apple kind of pushed the boundaries here. So you run a little phone app, and if it gets near the beacon device, then it'll tell you, hey, there's a beacon here. But let's go into the controller mode, and we'll see there's a bunch of options here. So the top options are for sending data from your device, like this tablet, to the BLE board. And you can actually see also just lit up blue, so that means I'm connected to the board.
It's really working.
And so, yeah, so this is kind of cool. You can actually do things like send the accelerometer data, the gyroscope data, the magnetometer data. It can just stream that to the Bluetooth board. And then if you have a script that's running and reads that data, I can make it so that if I tilt my tablet or something like that, maybe it'll interact with the device. And then the other thing is just some simple controls here. So I'll just show you the control pad mode. I don't have this hooked up, but it gives you like a little control pad where you've got up-down buttons, things, 1, 2, 3, 4 that you can press. So real simple ways to actuate different controllers and things that you want on your device. But the thing I'll really show off is this neat thing, the color picker. So it looks like just a typical color picker where you can choose kind of a hue that you want to use. And I can click send, and when I do that, cool, it lights up. So there's the color of the NeoPixel is basically being controlled by the color that I'm sending with the color picker control. So if I do like a blue one, you get a nice pretty blue color there. Maybe we go up to like a greenish color or like a blue-green. So it's kind of neat. It gives you just a real simple UI. And just by talking to this chip over the serial connection, so I have a little Python script that's just reading these commands, it's really easy to program against, because typically if you had like a raw Bluetooth modem connected to your Raspberry Pi, you'd have to interact with the Blues framework and all these real low-level ways of interacting with Bluetooth Low Energy. And it's still pretty cutting-edge stuff, so it's not compatible with, I think, like the latest version of Windows. I want to say you can't use Bluetooth Low Energy in your own apps. So this gets around all of that by just putting all that logic of talking Bluetooth Low Energy onto the chip, and then you can have an app or something like that here that lets you just send simple commands to it and control a device. So like in this case, just changing colors of things. So it's a pretty slick little device here. And this is the Android app. There's also the iOS app that I think is already out for this and lets you do kind of similar things there. So cool stuff.
All right, thank you, Tony, for beta testing, coming out shortly.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you for doing the demo or die. I think you got this app about half an hour ago.
Right. It was a quick thing. It's like I said, it's just serial code, so it's really easy to program it against.
This will be in the Google Play Store. We're just going through the last things, and we're very proud and pleased to have our first Android app.
Yay!
Okay.
Awesome.
Next
up.
Noah and Pedro from Adafruit Southeast. What is up this week?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Can you hear us okay?
You sound fantastic.
Yeah, really good.
All right. Yeah, so we got an exclusive. Tomorrow we're going to have the Hangout show. It's an extra extended show. We just got the Amber DLP SLA 3D printer from Autodesk. So we have a print. We want to show you guys right now what we printed. What did you print, Pedro? So here we have our very popular coral cuff that we have on Thingiverse. It's been downloaded over.
Oh,
yes,
Pedro.
the nervous system.
Yeah. Oh, Pedro, your volume's a little low, so maybe.
Yeah, it does look like it's from Nervous System, but this is actually something Pedro put together with.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so this was designed by
inspired. It's cool if you have a look that people are like, is that Nervous or is that?
Yeah, it's like the Vernoid Nervous System look, right? Is that even focused?
Yeah, they got a look. Is it?
Not too good on the focusing right there. Let me kind of see it there. Yeah, so this was printed on a printer bot here.
Yeah.
Microns, and then you can definitely see the difference here on.
Wow, the quality's really nice.
Microns. Yeah. So we're going to be doing some awesome projects like some custom keyboard caps, like some skulls or something like that.
Hey.
Chess set? Adafruit chess set? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's coming soon. It's
we
not
do
out.
have chess players here on Friday.
It's not out yet. Don't ask. Okay, what else got?
Yeah, and then this week we're going to release the Gunblade. So I've been teasing this for 2 weeks now. 3 weeks, like a whole month.
Yeah.
We sent it over to print. No. Takes about like 3 days, I think, for this whole thing to print. But yeah, we're using the Type A Series 1 machine for this guy. And we're going to walk through some slicing tutorials, some modeling techniques, and of course generating support materials inside of Simplify 3D. So cool show, jam-packed, about an hour long this time.
Wow. Okay.
Epic.
And just so everybody knows, tomorrow 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and this is the world premiere of the first live Autodesk 3D printer being shown. So
this is pretty epic.
It's a big deal. Autodesk is starting to put their eggs in a basket. I thought they were going to acquire a 3D printing company. Instead, they decided to make their own. Whew.
Cool. We'll see how that goes. All right, thanks, guys. All right, guys.
Somebody's cat.
Cat in the box.
Cat in the box.
All right, Phil B. from Adafruit Northwest. What you got?
Hey there. You said it might be a Radio Shack Memorial Retrotech Week.
Oh yeah.
Every
week is.
Pretty
Okay.
much every week going forward is.
I have this landline phone, Radio Shack landline phone, pristine condition from early 1980s.
It's clear princess phone, amazing.
Of all the stuff I could talk about on it, through-hole parts and a physical bell and stuff, the one thing that you really won't see in today's tech, now it's all about thinner, lighter, smaller, and everything. If you look on the handset here, there are two just chunks of metal they stick in there.
Yeah.
Just to give it heft, just to make it weigh more.
Yeah, because people were used to like the really heavy plastic, so they're like, oh, we want it to feel like I'm really talking to someone.
Yeah, and I thought of all the stuff I could point out, that just seemed, I think, the most period of the whole thing is let's just stick dead weight in this product. Anyway, just a quickie. Just wanted to show you that. But yeah, found it at my favorite junk store, Weird Stuff Warehouse.
All right.
Great condition too.
If it was not in such good condition, I would say put a phone in there and turn it into a cell phone, but I wouldn't touch it.
No, that looks
It's
good.
pristine. Yeah, it is. It is immaculate.
It's a museum piece.
All right, thanks, guys.
Okay.
All right. Next up, we're gonna go to Julian. Hey, Julian, how's it going? Unmute your mic and show us your project. Hey, Julian, I'm gonna unmute your mic.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, you're a little crackly, but we can hear you.
Yeah, okay, I'm trying a Bluetooth headset to make microphone work.
Well,
I would say the Bluetooth headset is not the best choice for tonight.
Nah, it's not working out.
Can you show us? Can you show us what you're working on? But when you talk, it sounds a little like a robot and a droid, which we like. But
Give me 1 second and I'll switch back to normal microphone and see if that works.
Okay.
Hopefully you can hear me now.
You're still a little robot-y.
Okay, I think
Now you're
unfortunately,
You're perfect
Okay.
now.
because my network decided to fall apart on me literally minutes beforehand, and I added extra cables, and you know the way it goes.
yeah, a lot of demos.
All right, show us what you got.
Demo. Well, okay, the demo is going to be kind of simplistic because normally I'm at work, but unfortunately I was laid off last week. The good news is that means I can come along, so I can just quickly show a few things I've been working on. And if this is going to play nicely with me, hopefully. Oh, no, hang on. Okay, I'm just switching to another camera. There we go. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. So
Wow,
this is a Microsoft Surface original, not the very portable version, which someone gave to me, and I managed to restore it, although I can't find the drivers for it. So unfortunately, the touch sensor isn't working, but I plan to replace that with Kinect. This is another little neat thing that I acquired. It's actually a display case from Planer. They now sell this for putting shoes and things in. This is a prototype they sent to my company. It's interesting because they actually use prototype DVI to LVDS adapters. So they use two, one just to drive the LEDs, and the nice thing about that is I'm going to use that to make a portable Xbox 360. And inside I have my little Huxley 3D printer, which I bought secondhand and resuscitated. Reused a good old Centronics printer box. So that was
That's a good storage place for your 3D printer. It looks cute.
exactly. And also, it's all played down. So it's got this one to elementary school, and then she can actually put the display on the front so the kids can see what they're doing. But this is my new pride and joy, which is a tab with my handy-dandy woodwork, which it looks good on video, but if you look at it in person, it's a bit more a few less square edges than you might think. And my shape ochre, which my kids love a lot, but that's a real pain in the neck to get working. I've got the tiny G upgrade, and when it works, it's great, but when it doesn't work, it is a real nightmare. It turns out I've got some bugs in their serial implementation.
Okay.
So that's it. Well, now that I know that this all works, I'll try to get on next week with some actual builds in progress.
That translucent display was amazing. So they just took the backlight off and edge-lit it?
Yep, basically. The actual lighting is just a strip of very incredibly bright white LEDs. As I say, this is a real prototype box. I'll take some photos of it and post them somewhere because...
I'm fascinated. I've never seen it.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting, and I'm not sure it got turned into a final product. Last time I looked at their website, they sell the panels, but they don't have it in a case. Okay. But it's a full 23-inch display, and it's gorgeous when it's running.
Yeah, that was beautiful. I was like, I thought it was I thought it was plastic to start. I didn't realize it was, and then I was like, oh my god, that's a monitor. Cool.
Yeah, no, it's a full screen on the front, but the side is all plastic. It looks very much like something Ben Hick might make. I think they use the same materials from the same design book.
Okay, please come back next week. I want to see more of your stuff.
Absolutely, I'll be back next week. Now I know I've got all this video stuff finally working.
And Julian, what type of position are you looking for in the world? You said you have some time now, but you probably want to get something going again. Well, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for a job, something in the making space. I'm a test engineer by trade, software developer, degree in physics though, and would love to get back to electronics. I've got 3 young boys, and I'm working with a local educational community commons someone's trying to start. So anything in that space, I'm willing to work remotely, locally here in the Vancouver, Canada area. Anything like that, get in touch with me, would be awesome. Thank you.
Okay, well, come on the show each week, and you know, a lot of people have found positions because of their appearances on the show and tell, and also Adafruit has found some of our best people because they came on the show and tell. So please come by next week.
Back.
I will.
Support at Adafruit.com, and you get an SEN on the show and tell sticker for one of the many things you showed.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you next week.
Okay. Bye, Julian. All right, next up, PJ. Hello, PJ. How's it going?
PJ.
Unmute your mic and show us your project.
Hi. So this is my Raspberry Pi portable with
That's cool.
a Lego case.
Yeah.
I have a portable battery pack.
You're still here. Everything's going good.
Yeah. Okay. It just
No, I was looking at
I had technical difficulties.
It's okay.
But anyways, so it stands up on its own on the table.
Oh, neat. It's like a little robot.
Yeah. I have a SDR hooked up to it.
Oh, cool. So you're doing the radio stuff with it?
Yep. And so I've been also playing around with little transmitters from Micro to do some IoT stuff.
Okay. That's cool. Is that like a hand-etched board?
Yeah, actually, this is my grandpa's board.
Oh, wow.
He's into electronics and stuff, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, it's good stuff. Come back next week and show us more stuff too.
Excellent. The only thing that project is missing is an as seen on the show and tell sticker. So email support@adafruit.com. I think there's plenty of room on the back for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yay, thank you so much. All right,
Awesome.
we're gonna go to Lon, and then Roberto, and then we're gonna finish up with C. Scott. So Lon, you can do it in a couple minutes. Show
Oh
us
yeah,
the project.
2 minutes max.
Woo!
2 minutes.
Yep. I just want to say I'm excited about that new little synth chip that you guys got. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's what got me into programming back in the day was voltage-controlled oscillators and controlling them with 6502s. That's what got me excited about this stuff.
C. Scott, who's here on the show, made something that got Lady Ada into electronics too.
Yeah. So everyone here is being
Yeah.
inspired.
This is a big deal. This is
This is cool. We're like a family.
Yeah.
It's a big VCO love fest.
I
Yeah.
know.
So my update is really quick. I'm working on that EVA foam primer that Phil wanted,
Yeah.
and so I'm doing research on different techniques. So a couple weeks ago I showed off that gauntlet that I was doing with the glossy black finish, and I wanted to see what I could do with metallic finishes
Wow. That's cool.
without actually using like metal paints or anything.
Mhm.
And it came out very metally. That's
Yeah, it looks cast.
yeah, it's done with a sponge technique with stainless steel acrylic and a little iridescent silver acrylic and some black, and just botched that on there. And then it's got 4 coats of floor wax on it to make it all shiny.
Okay.
And then the other thing I'm doing is a bunch of research into glues and adhesives that are being used on the EVA foam. Since EVA is actually the same stuff that regular craft foam was made out of, most glues will actually work fine. And so I've been doing a whole bunch of tests of the edge bonding, and this weekend I'll probably post a video on my YouTube channel where I tear all these apart and see which ones hold up and which ones stay flexible.
Okay.
And then on a related glue front, I'm rebuilding the console for the game show system, which is currently just fluted plastic and gator board, and I'm rebuilding that in PVC foam, and I'm doing a bunch of glue tests on that to see what is going to give me the strongest corner bonds.
Okay.
And that's it.
I'm rooting for E6000.
E6000 unfortunately is the worst one.
Oh no.
It's a little too flexible for this kind of structure. Turns out that the super glue or like the that foaming urethane stuff is probably the strongest.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much,
All
Lon.
right, thanks, Lon.
Email support@adafruit.com, and one of your many projects gets a sticker that says "as seen on the show and tell." We're gonna split the last 6 minutes with Roberto and C. Scott. So Roberto, you got 3 minutes, and then we're gonna go to C. Scott, and you'll wrap it up with the last 3 minutes. So.
Hey, Roberto.
Hello, everyone. Can
All right.
you all hear me?
Yeah. Ready, set, go.
Okay. Mostly my projects have been light-based for the output. This time I wanted to do a sound-based project. Project that had output for the sound. Sorry, I think you know what I mean.
Yep.
So I chose to do a Raspberry Pi project with a Piezo, and so that's all that's hooked up besides the Wi-Fi module that makes it web-enabled. It's also Java-powered. I got the idea from it from a C program off of the internet that kind of showed how to use the ringtone text transfer language to output the Nokia tones. They were real popular earlier in the 90s. So like I said, it's Java powered. If I can screen share real quick, I want to show the interface.
Okay.
And so the program came with sorry, the example came. Are y'all seeing The Simpsons and Indiana?
Yep.
Okay, so these are all the songs it came with, like Muppets, X-Files, something about James Bond, Good Bad. And so now I'll stop screen sharing. So that's what the user interface looks like. And whenever y'all see me, okay, so there's the Piezo browser. And so I can, like here's Inspector Gadget.
That's great.
Play the Jeopardy theme.
I'm sorry?
Play the Jeopardy theme.
Okay.
I'll take who gets a show and tell sticker for $500.
Y'all saw that list. I think there's about 21 songs. Some error correction to do because I think I had what I ended up doing was converting the algorithm from. Sorry, I'm trying to get it to stop so y'all can hear me. I was trying to get it to convert the C character pointer to a Java string and I think I have a ++ wrong somewhere. So I actually get an index array out of bounds exception that I need to work on. But other than that, it can play any of the songs that are in that list. Here's 18.
Okay. And with that,
Thanks for having me, guys. I hope I didn't take too long or take away
No,
from the
no,
nice
this
guys'
is
time.
great.
It's
I like,
perfect.
I like this. It's like a different project. Like
All right.
Piezos are so much fun.
we got exactly 3 minutes left. We're going to go with C. Scott. Don't forget, Roberto, email support@adafruit.com. You get SCN on the show until 6.
Go right on that Raspberry Pi.
All right, Scott, look at these
guys.
air wires. Look at this.
Your air wires are down.
All right, so show us what you got going on, C. Scott.
Am I here?
Yeah, you're here.
Yeah, it started with 1,457 air wires. We're down to 238.
Woo!
As you can see, I've got most of the stuff placed. The only things left are the easy stuff. This is a headphone amplifier, and this is like a modulation mixer, and the VCA. And then I sort of splatted the parts out here for the ladder filter, but getting there. Should have it done here either tonight or tomorrow. But moving on real quick
It's
here.
the best version of SimCity I've seen in a while.
But back to me. I've found another one of my compressed air dryer control panels. This one works.
Nice one.
So, yeah, it was a fairly simple system. You had these 4 sensors. They're not thermocouples, but thermistors, and you would set the monitoring point for it, and then you had a motor status indicator, and this would either flash red or be solid green depending on whether the compressor motor was running and whatnot. But 21-year-old circuit still works. I was amazed. But anyway, I wanted to call attention to that little blinking red light because, you know, here are my original Forrest Mims books. This is 1977. So
Wow.
It's a classic Radio Shack.
Yeah, summer 1977 kind of big for me because, you know, that's the Star Wars summer. I was turned 13 and I started doing 555 stuff.
Okay.
But in 1980, of course, he came out with my very, very well thumbed and yellowed with age engineer's notebook, and I found jammed in it a circuit I probably drew, you know, 35 years ago.
Wow.
And this circuit, I sent it to you guys to see if you could guess what it does, but I'll just go ahead and explain it.
I was figuring it was an oscillating blinking thing because every circuit is always an oscillating blinking thing. It's like,
Well, that particular circuit is an annunciator. It gives you 3 states. It's either off, it is on as a solid green, or it's blinking red.
okay.
So, you know, back before you could like use the little 8-pin Cortex M0 part to do this for less than the cost of the parts it would take to use that 4011 gate. That's what you did, and I drew that circuit in 1981, and I ended up using it in a product in 1994. So, you know, just a sort of keeping the old ideas alive.
Yeah, but you don't need like a watchdog timer for it either, so it's good to have these circuits around. Like this is
Well, it just so
Fail-safe.
happened, this one, yeah, this has one of my first uses of the 12C508 was a device I called PickDog. It was a watchdog for the main CPU. It would listen to the display multiplex signals, and if they stopped running, it meant the computer crashed, so it would time out and kick a reset pulse back to try and restart it. Anyway, I'm going to finish on a Valentine card my daughter wrote for me here earlier.
Okay.
all right.
And she went, "Dear Dad, you are so awesome. Like a keyboard player, an old crow, circuit board, most of all synthesizer. You love, Emily."
Aw.
Wow. And you know what's amazing? You know what's amazing? I know you're going to keep that for the next 20 or 30 years
You're gonna
because
stick that in your
because you-
Forrest Mims notebook.
because you have all those other things. Thank you so much for sharing that.
That's sweet.
But next week I travel to my factory to put some surface mount boards together. I'll try and do a show from there so you can see my stuff.
Okay. Ooh, C. Scott
All
on the road. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. C. Scott, of course, you get Seen on Show and Tell Secret.
Just in time.
As always. Thank you,
Thank
Tony.
you, Tony's cat.
You're
His
Roberto.
cat is
Thank you,
licking
PJ.
away.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Noah Pedro. Thank you, Lon. Thank you, Julian. Thank you so much. We'll see everybody here next week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 8 p.m. is Ask an Engineer. We're going to start in like 1 second.
I wish I could lick myself like that all the time. Like,
Well, we can get you a box if you want.
Look at
but-
that. Look at that happy cat.
Hey, it's a nice
All
cat.
right.
The cat.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy Chinese New Year, everybody.
Happy Year of the Sheep. It's a lucky year.
The lucky year.
All right.
Sheep.
You're the goat. Oh, I know there's controversy. I know. You're the goat. Okay.